1.
I'm not laughing this time.
Well, what in the seagull sucking and sack is going on, my little Worcester weasels? Big Harv here, welcoming you back to another episode of the recurring nightmare that is the Slappy Hour podcast. And I'd just like to say before we get started, this hour would be a lot less slappy without my two best friends in the world. Introducing, as always, Omar Field Ramen.
Hello, everybody. Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Omar, how you doing?
I don't know if this is in our gaming videos, but me and Harv came up with a character that's basically he's like a British dock worker, and everything he sees in life is very nice. So he just goes like, you offer him like a nice bread, and he'll just be like, "Oh yes, that roast is very nice, very nice."
Nice bread.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
you're very typical.
Anything you show, like, oh, how's that drink you're having? Oh, it's very nice, very nice.
He's very much like that town square, like, you know, medieval kind of fable ass, like village idiot. But he's anything you show him. It could be a horrible, like you could show him a quarter or like a fucking halfpenny. Oh, very nice. Just like
he's so fucking pumped.
Kind of like us, just like some Neanderthal that's just really incorrigible. You know,
his fucking family gets robbed. His family gets robbed, stabbed, murdered, all the above, and he's just like,
Very nice.
But whose voice is that in the corner that I hear? Could that be?
Hello. Hello.
The famous Rye-Dawg from Rotterdam himself. Everybody give it up for Ryan Gosh Dang DeMarco.
The famous photographer himself.
Oh, those resolutions going there, folks.
Well, not too well, but we're kind of going to get into that because this all started off on New Year's, and that's the day that I discovered this podcast was cursed.
I'm ready to hear about this.
Yeah, all right, yeah. So I've been saying that for like 2 weeks since we were last recorded. This podcast is cursed because not but 5 hours after filming the first session, the New Year's episode, Omar and I, we both got COVID. Like, straight up. And from there, you know, everything...
On the day we recorded the podcast, right?
Literally, I'm not kidding, like 5 hours after. You know, we're all like excited, like, I can't wait to start this new venture with my friends. And then immediately just like, dead, plague, fuck.
Yeah, and like, to be fair though, like we should have probably expected it because we kept hearing, like, I don't know if you heard this before that weekend. So, like, it was literally in New York, like city. There was like a massive outbreak with a bunch of fucking weebs. She said
Is that at the Javits Center?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is it also where Comic-Con is?
Yeah, I think same place.
Yeah. We actually met up with a friend like the week before who went there. They didn't test positive, but they were like, yeah, it was the scariest thing. But yeah,
the anime thing. Or?
Yeah, they went to the Anime Con.
But I feel like you guys might have gotten Delta though.
Nah,
Like,
I wasn't bad.
So?
Harv has like, you know, his fucking health problems.
Basically, I like. You ever see like, you know,
doctors sticking things up his hoo-ha every day?
Yeah, you ever see like the pizza box and you're like, you go to recycle, you have like that good intention where it's like, I can recycle this, but then there's grease, so technically by law you got to throw it out. That's like
the grease should fall out of the hole in the bottom cut.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The grease isn't falling out of the bottom hole correctly for me. So, you know, they just threw me out, but somehow I cling to life. So
I thought you were gonna say like it's like that old pizza that you get. It's like that pizza box been in the fridge for like 3 weeks. You're like, should I eat this cold? Should I heat it up? Is there like a colony that's grown on this pizza of bacteria?
Right. Unpopular opinion. I don't like cold pizza. I don't know about anybody else.
Oh wait,
is that unpopular? Do you mean? Wait, hold on. Do you mean literally eating it cold or eating next day pizza reheated?
No, like it's in the fridge. You just take out and eat it cold.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Hold on.
I'll do it. If it's Domino's, it's the best, I think, for some reason. But
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
it-
I'm going to agree with Ryan here. I think that
okay,
cold
well-
pizza is trash.
Well, I just want to say we're definitely over a minute and a half in, so just we can say this now.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yourselves. Jesus. Oh, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you fucking kidding me? Cold pizza is what this nation is built on.
Okay.
And clearly, this nation.
Hold on. Wait 1 second, though. Like, your family has this weird thing where you put all your leftovers in the microwave. And I was just telling Danielle this the other day.
No, you shouldn't have told other people. That's a family secret.
Well, the reason I was telling her because I was like, do you have friends that have like weird quirks that like are passed down through their family? Like, because I was thinking about it when I was sleeping over your house when we were recording and shit. Is like you
My
always
parents
put
weren't
all
there.
our leftovers in the microwave, like
Yeah.
not the fridge. You put it in the microwave, and I remember when I used to go to your house when we were younger, that like if I was hungry, I could just open the microwave and there'd be fucking like croissants and like fucking pizza bagels, like cold pizza bagels.
yeah, the microwave was Harv's room for the first 4 years of his life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just some germ that survived this whole time.
Yeah, you were born off a fucking Domino's pizza.
Honestly, at this point, it's believable.
Were you-
Every doctor's appointment, they walk in, and it's just like the next thing is always like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do a couple like routine tests, and then I come back at weight, and I'm like, oh no, oh god damn no.
You're like lying on the floor. They just give you a little kick, and they're like, "Oh, you're still alive."
No.
Yeah.
You're kind of like I imagine you were like a premature birth, and then they like how like you put babies in the incubator after they were premature.
Oh, dude, I was preemie as hell.
But they just like put you in the microwave and like put it on like for 1 minute or so, just to get you going.
Yeah, they just want to warm it up a little bit so it's edible, but they don't really care about the taste, But okay, so basically, I know we're talking about how
we even got on that tangent.
yeah, we really just like everybody's coming at me. It's like, oh my god, we should tear down this man's family, his health, the fact that he's a fucking pizza cheese, and now you guys are hating on cold cheese pizza. So obviously, this podcast is damn cursed.
No, you cold cheese pizza, cold pizza.
Okay, sorry,
cheese
cold
is a
pizza.
different animal.
Oh,
You're putting words in my mouth, boy.
oh, I'm gonna put something else in your mouth, and it's gonna be cold pizza, and you're gonna love it. Also, air fried pizza, leftover pizza. That's a move nowadays,
Yeah, I could see it reheated in a toaster oven that shit,
right?
Or whatever.
Like,
I haven't gotten on the air fryer bandwagon yet.
Oh, it's good.
just,
We got one now. It's good.
Is that a toaster oven though with convection? What about convection? Everybody.
Let me tell you, it's like you want to make like chicken wings. Usually you deep fry them, right? Now you can have them. Now you can put them in an air fryer, and they're slightly less good. But
it's kind of some things do like definitely lose the luster for sure.
But you feel better about yourself.
Look, if I'm gonna eat chicken wings, I want to feel bad about myself.
I
feel you.
really like how Omar came in. Just no, Ryan. It's good. No, it's good. Like,
Meanwhile, actually, just average.
yeah,
I have one thing to say
yeah.
about hot wings.
Oh, let's continue. There's never a bad time.
Whenever that fucking hot wing show comes on my YouTube stream,
Hot ones?
Hot ones.
yeah, hot ones, I cannot, like, I'm just literally I'll watch it in bed at like fucking 12 at night, and I'll instantly be fucking salivating, like fucking water fall down my mouth, and I just want chicken wings now. Like, for some reason, hot wings are the one thing where I'm like, my mouth is watering now.
We should do that. We should actually get all the sauce and try to do the whole line.
You can buy the package.
Well, yeah, we did a hot sauce challenge when we were like 16, and we all puked because we got in our eye. Remember that? It was like we were like,
Well, you
no-
puked.
yeah, I puked, and then the waitress got. Oh yeah, she was taking shots because she had to try a bite. We'll get into that story in a second. So when we were like, I mean, it existed for a while. I think it was like a high school challenge for us. But when we were like, I think in our
I think it was high school still, wasn't it?
senior year, right? Oh, there's
Yeah.
speaking of senior year, those voice cracks are coming back already. Senior, yeah.
That's you transferring to your past self for a moment.
That's like what happens. I'm about to go like super like who was it? Taylor Lautner, Shark Boy. That's what happens when he becomes the werewolf man. But so we had this challenge at a local like sports bar called the Bench. I don't know if it's still called that now,
Honestly, it's not that great of a place.
No, it's like the most. We go every time. Every time my wife and I have gone there, our friends are gone. They're like, that was like below average, but it's sports
it's
bar
just
food.
like average ass sports bar food. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Like
so
hometown.
Out on the bench for average food.
yeah, so it was kind of like almost like an '80s freaking teen movie where it's like kind of like a stoner comedy where it's like the big challenge was if you finish 12 of the atomic wings, you get a full pitcher of beer. And for some reason, our
No,
little
it wasn't a pitcher beer. It was one of those yard beers.
okay, but still at the same time. Probably it's like a case of beer, and between like the 10 of our friends that try to like, wow.
You spent more money on the wings.
Yeah, you spend more money on the wings, but the whole thing was like, if we finish these wings, then oh my god,
We'll all get trashed tonight.
we're gonna get fucked up off of like a natty light, and we were just like going hard off of it. And we're like, okay, they're probably gonna be like very hot, like more than likely like it's gonna fuck us up. But Ryan, when we went in, and I'm not really horrible with spice as your local like resident white man, but
And I'm half Indian. Like we eat fucking vindaloo shit all the time.
Yeah.
At my home.
But so we went in and we each did a wing to start, and within 5 minutes it was, oh no, this is a bad idea, and we were touching our eyeballs.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, so we're touching our eyeballs. We're there with like a couple friends. At one point, I was. Me and another like close friend of ours were standing in the bathroom at the urinal. So we're puking and pissing at the same time, and we're just like,
wait! You're missing one thing. The reason we were at the urinal is because we wanted to wash our mouths out because it was so hot. But there was like some dude washing his hands
with his kid.
With his kid for like 30 minutes. It felt like in my head because we were fucking like our mouths were burning, and he was just washing his hands forever. And like I just remember we were looking back, like me, you, and Dylan, and we were just like should we just fucking like drink the urinal?
Stuff that comes down.
Yeah,
There was one point where like one of us came into the bathroom and said like, I could just kill myself now and it'd be fine. And this dad and his kid were just like, oh my god, daddy, what do I? And it's just So the waitress, they go back. I'm still in the bathroom like washing my hands because I puked on the freaking table from one wing, just like straight like projectile. And I come back and the waitress comes
all
back
over the table.
Yeah, the waitress like.
Oh my.
Do you guys need anything? It's like, guys, quick, give me the napkins. I just threw up everywhere. I have to clean it up before she sees. And she's just right on my left. And then
she was like, it was so good. She was like, she like came to the table. She's like, oh, can I like get you guys anything? I'm like, nah, it's fine. So Big Harv comes around the corner, like, he's just like, guys, where are the napkins? I need to clean up my puke right now. So before she comes back, because there was just like a pile of puke in front of his spot of the wings.
What? All right. What is the definition of a pile?
like,
it was like maybe.
I like how we're all in agreement on a small
Well,
appetizer plate.
I can't remember if it was on the table or like on a plate or something, like in the wing bucket or something.
I just like how we all have the same definition where we put up our hands, and it's it's a little that serving plate that they give you the mozzarella sticks on, so you can take from.
Yeah.
But every time you reach for the mozzarella sticks, everyone's like, "Oh, judgy." Oh, he took two.
Yeah. 5 mozzarella sticks and 6 people.
Yeah.
Who's going to take it?
Ooh, that's a lot of dipping sauce. Oh wow, you're really dunking that, huh, big boy? I've had it happen so many times.
You guys don't know about Melba, do you?
What?
Mozzarella sticks, right?
What?
Melba?
We play a lot of video games, man, but I've never heard of that DLC character. I don't fuck with that.
It's life changing, man. It's an upstate thing. So it's instead of marinara sauce to dip your mozzarella sticks in, they give you raspberry jam, like a raspberry sauce.
Or I had that somewhere. Was it with you or with?
I feel like it was with you, actually. Yeah.
It was probably upstate because
I feel like it was. I feel like I was with you, Harv, when we tried that somewhere in Oneonta or something.
Oh yeah, probably Oneonta.
Do you? Maybe the Yellow Deli. No, actually.
I remember having that at one point, being like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right?
It was probably Oneonta Hops.
Maybe. I don't know if you even.
They were
went
like
there.
from Rochester, and
Yeah.
I think they do that out there too.
Well, yeah. I mean, upstate New York is definitely like wing central. Like, wasn't the garbage plate?
Was literally from Buffalo.
Yeah, wasn't Where was the garbage plate? Wasn't it upstate?
The what?
The garbage plate is Rochester. Wings are Buffalo.
What is the garbage plate?
Oh.
What it sounds like. It's like you can customize it a little bit, but it's like tater tots, chicken tenders, cheese. I don't know, whatever else, and they do like
A fucking sewer rat.
they put anything on there. You can do like pulled pork on there, and then they put like ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce,
It's essentially like
everything.
if you have the 8th grade cafeteria shits, that's where it's coming out. You know, it's
And they recycle that.
Oh.
Or the plate.
on the little saucer, they just scoop it off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And one's to go.
And speaking of just hot dumps, I feel like now's the time to talk about, we were talking about New Year's and how we were cursed after
I was like, how the fuck did we even get here?
Yeah. We were talking about, the curse and all of that and just life being shitty. So after, getting COVID, I figured we should talk about how the holidays were for everybody and how everything went because it didn't go so well for all of us here. Omar, I don't know if you'd like to start.
How did the holidays go? Well, flew back to New York. I was like, I'm going to have a great time with my family. Then I think, was it the first weekend I was back? Or maybe the second one. I went to go do recording with you. And we had a good weekend overall.
Oh, should we talk about...
But one night, we were in... I had to go to the city to get dinner with my family since I was staying at yours in Queens. And
oh my God.
it was fucking amazing food that I had all night, and I got like some fancy ass New York cocktails and shit. But then when I got back to Harv's place,
he was passed out. This.
He was passed out because I got back pretty late. And like, I don't know what the fuck happened to me, but I was just like lying in bed, like so uncomfortable. My stomach was hurting, and I just fucking puked my brains out all night. So that was one thing that happened that was fucking terrible.
I didn't even
and it was
hear
like we were eating like fucking Malaysian food, so I was like chili crab or some shit, and I saw the whole fucking crab come right back out.
When it's
terrible.
When it's whole, it's just like that's when you know there's nothing left. Like you are in despair.
Yeah, and then we had like a good next morning. We got some good healthy food at that mall, and then we recorded the podcast, and then went to the show, which was sick.
Yeah, literally.
Hey,
hey,
it was
look
a
at us
fucking
go.
cramped ass show in Williamsburg, and I was just when we were there, I was thinking like yeah, they're checking like whatever vaccine stuff, but really like I mean I know people who've gotten fake ones before, like it's possible, and yeah, we got COVID from it.
A lot of the new cases, like it doesn't even matter if you're vaccinated or not. You can.
Oh yeah. My whole family got it. They didn't get as bad as me because they were all, fully done. But anyways, also that show was weird because it was like a hardcore show. So it was like fucking intense shit. But there was like, it was at the knitting factory. But like usually it's like, there's like the bar area and then the venue. And usually the door in between is open. But this time it was not. And
oh yeah,
there was the room that is usually the bar was suddenly a comedy show.
Yeah, that was really weird.
It was so funny because especially because it was a very political band, so it was like everybody, like, we're in this together, we can make this work, united we stay, kind of shit. And then like you'd hear in the back like fucking the comedy show, like people laughing and stuff.
I totally forgot about
Kenny
that.
was there that night.
Yeah, like it was like the weirdest fucking vibe. Yeah, fucking SpongeBob. Kind of shit. Like,
oh my God, if Tom Kenny came in the pit and threw down with us, that'd be freaking wild. Yeah, and like the show is pretty awesome too for the most part, and it is like so crazy to think about it. Like as soon as you walked in, it was if you've ever been to the knitting factory in Brooklyn, it is a sweat box for sure. But for that show especially, just like you walk in and you're dripping.
Oh, it was tight.
And then so we left, and we left with a group of like maybe 5 or 6 people. We're all in this little clown car. Omar's sitting on my lap on the way home. And
my butthole is prolapsing because I had to take a shit on your knee. You said.
All right, I didn't really want to like relive it, but I guess if we want to go into the details, yes.
When you gotta take a poop and then your like butthole sort of like flexing.
Yeah, that's your. I mean.
Yeah, I mean I don't like inverting like
if you're very uncomfortable, you're like kind of like tightening your butthole.
Yeah, so you're doing it on my kneecap, and that's just all you need to do. But so we're in this car with like 6 people, and then out of all of us, 5 of us get it, but 1 man survives. And I think what we came down to, like, he was boosted for the longest. Yeah, that's the only like really like kind of sense we could make out of it. But so the next week, we're like, oh my God, I can't wait to spend time with my family. Omar's so excited he's back. Like, yes, the holidays are here. And
Dude,
then,
I'm going on like a cabin weekend in Vermont that weekend.
dude, I literally spent the entire week because I hadn't seen Laura for a week because she was in like Disney at the time. She comes back and we can't even hang out for a week because I had to isolate here. So she's like, I'm like freaking Dobby from Harry Potter, and she's giving me like scraps of socks to eat or whatever.
Under the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Under the doorway, I mean.
Yeah, but like pretty much. So I'm just like, and the air mattress, like nobody knows, and none of the spicy mommies probably know. This office is not that big, and I'm not complaining. No. But if you blow up an air mattress in here, like every time I put the green screen up in here, it's the whole thing. So I'm sitting here really essentially just
I just keep like picturing that tray of food like with fucking slop on it.
That's all it was, dude. And like all that happened was I would sit, then deflate, stand up, go back, and it was like that for a week of just like freaking out. So
Laura's putting together like deli meat and just rolling the deli meat under the door. It's getting all like dust and crumbs on it.
Oh my gosh! You know we should
fucking like liver spots and like green fuzz like sticking off of it.
Liver fuzz.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking slice of bologna.
Yeah, I mean, like to be fair,
like Laura, we have good food in the house. Why are you giving me this?
To be fair, like she went above and beyond. I just like sat here and like sweat and like it was. Yeah, I'm like really thankful she was like as good as she was giving me. Yeah. Like the mold eventually got a little too much, but at the same time it was a familiar taste and like home cooking, you know. It was cool.
Yeah, so I went to Boston to obviously visit my partner Danielle, and then we like went up to Vermont to a cabin and shit. And it was gonna be a good, very like we were like because we're long distance, so it was like oh yeah, like this is gonna be a fucking awesome weekend and all this stuff. Like first day she was also like busy with like she was finishing up her finals, but
ew.
I just like that night I started like I'm like man, it's like really fucking hot in here Like I thought it was like because we had the fire, like it was a sick ass cabin, like A-frame, like out in the woods, snow and shit. And I was like,
talk more about the really frame,
hot, right? This fire is really fucking hot, right? And Danielle was like, it's kind of warm in here, I guess, but it's not that bad. And I'm like realizing, like, oh my god, like I'm so hot right now. So I was pretty shitty that weekend. I wasn't that bad. Like I don't think I got as bad as you. And like we had like a hot tub out in the snow, so it was like an overall good weekend. I was just tired and like on the couch all night or all day, which was fine because we were planning to have like a mostly chill, just lay in the cabin kind of vibe weekend.
Literally, the moment you left, I sat there like because we had like the couch bed out and everything because we were like hanging out and he was chilling. And like he stayed over, and I'm sitting there, we're packing up and we're like haggard and all like tired from this whole like week of shooting and like shows and all that. And we say goodbye and I'm like, yo, peace, man, I love you, like whatever. And I just sit there. And I just start getting like hot and I'm in pain and I'm feeling like the same type of sweat and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. You messaged me about it when I was going up to the cabin.
Yeah. And
I was like, I'm sure it's fine, but you should probably get a test or something.
Yeah. And so we're sitting there and the next freaking like night, like while he's there, like the day after he left, I'm sitting there and there's that part in Harry Potter, I think it's like the second one where he's growing his bones back. Dude, I thought my tiny little
after the fucking Quidditch.
Yeah. I literally thought my skeleton was coming out of my body, and like,
that sucks.
Yeah, it was
like,
definitely
I felt achy for sure, but I don't think I got as bad as you.
No, it was like achy, and my sister had it at the same time, and she had like the same kind of feeling. So maybe it's just genetics, or maybe it's I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, so what I was gonna say is like, so the cabin weekend I was pretty sick. Probably Monday I saw like the sort of like chest thing where you can't breathe really well.
Yeah.
But like overall, I was getting better during the week when we went back to Boston. But then Danielle started getting sick on like the Monday or Tuesday and got it really bad. And like she just told me that she like gets bad fevers since she was a kid or whatever. But there was a point she had like 104.5 fever, which is high as fuck.
That's pretty bad.
And like she was like in bed, like I'm helping her out, like I'm getting her like I'm going out getting Gatorade, ginger or whatever, like Tylenol, shit, everything. Like I'm just like trying to like make sure like I'm not gonna end up with a fucking corpse by the end of the week. And like there was a moment where she had to go to the bathroom and like literally couldn't get up. Like I had to help her up, and she was like freaking out. And I'm like, oh man, like this is like an old Yeller situation. I'm looking up like shotguns on fucking Amazon. And like, I'm gonna have to put this one out. Like, take a fucking gun to the back of the head right now.
There's two things you can do in a new relationship: deal with the fear or deal with the fear. Like, you're so worried about making like a good first impression. You're just like, you know what? We'll just cut out the middleman.
yeah.
Well, he's like, I wanted an apartment on both coasts anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But meanwhile,
I just go around Boston like dressed in their clothing and like
Oh my
fucking
God.
go to classes and stuff. Like pretend, just like keep the lie going so I don't have to tell her parents that she's dead.
oh my! But you're just doing Miss Doubtfire the whole time. But you're like, Miss Doubtfire never sounded like Danielle, so her mom's like really like onto you already, and just like, oh hello, and she's like, dude, she's never sounded like that once.
I see your beard.
Oh, but you know, while we're the heroes of this story are sitting here and suffering, Ryan, how was your holiday? How was your non-sick, perfect, beautiful white Christmas?
I fucking missed Christmas with my family because I was stuck in Boston quarantine. You bitch. No, just kidding.
Yeah, mine was like the most white bread Christmas ever. I mean, last year we didn't see anybody, and we didn't see that many people this year either. But
Don't you like live
family
right by
members-
your family?
Yeah. Like we saw our immediate family, like my parents and my wife's parents, but none of my family came in from out of town. Some of her family came in, like just from the surrounding states, like from Jersey and Massachusetts. But it was pretty just low key, quiet. Nothing story worthy really happened.
Yeah.
So you really just
another dog.
Sounds
which is
nice.
it sounds like a great time. It sounds like you didn't play no.
We're just
Definitely
passive
better than
aggressive for
yours.
the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it really just sounds like you had a nice Christmas, perfect picture holiday. While I sat there after the Quidditch match and fucking Professor whatever Rupert Grint came through and tried to fix my bones. But no,
You know what?
Fucking Santa came into my house and fucking coughed on my asshole while I was trying to fucking hang out with my goddamn
specifically your
long
asshole.
distance partner.
You're telling
And then we sing happy birthday to Jesus. So
you're telling me Santa came in middle of the night, breaks in, pulls down your pants, it's just a little right in your butthole.
I was wearing like butt flap like feety pajamas, so he really just had to lift the flap and just
Well, of
that's how
course,
we got COVID.
it's in
yeah.
season.
That's how I got COVID.
It's a little known fact. It usually enters through the butthole.
Yeah, it's actually the only way you can get it.
Oh my gosh, it's all making sense to me now.
Oh yeah. So when you were in the mosh pit, that's how you got fucking COVID because you had so many fucking hands going up your ass from all that smacking about.
Honestly, though, like there were a lot of hand smacking about. A lot of people weren't wearing masks. Shows are very weird, because I don't know, like you either got to be 100% or
I
whatever.
don't even think if you're wearing a mask, but you're fucking going to mosh pit, does it even matter? Like at that point,
Exactly, and we're not like anti-maskers or anti-vaxxers. We're just
you're
like,
literally like sharing spit with people, and like
yeah, it could have been like the bands who gave it to it. I mean, it's crazy. It's it's just
I feel like I totally probably got COVID after we saw Slipknot. It was pretty down and out after that. I didn't. It just felt like it was a regular cold, but I don't know. I already had COVID, so maybe it was just like a more mild version.
the week you were in California.
The week after.
Yeah.
So I started feeling pretty shitty toward the end of our trip. Then like that whole next week, like it's pretty down and out.
I mean, we were doing like stuff constantly that week.
Yeah,
also.
we did do a lot.
yeah.
Like, it was like nonstop adventure. Like
Yeah, and we're not complaining. Like we're young, somewhat virile human beings. But man, oh my gosh! After not doing things for like months and years at a time, like
going to a festival and like trying to like
yeah, and we're like those.
dance the whole day is a lot harder than I thought.
That
It was.
was like 9-10 hours.
I was so tired for Slipknot. I was like,
And we were chugging like
happy.
yeah, we were chugging like high alcohol content like prosecco and like. Then we were drinking.
We were doing whiskey shots and
whiskey
shit.
shots. We were mixing. We were moshing. It was also hot. It was just like sometimes you think that you're not this like just dilapidated pizza box that's got to get thrown out, but you are.
Harv got his inhaler from the car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then got stuck in the car.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And nobody
that
left
was
the windows
a
open.
mean man.
Me?
Yeah, you were mean.
Yeah, because you guys kept coming out like, we'll save you, we'll get your inhaler. And I'm like, no, you can't. I've already fucked up. Go home. Stay. Enjoy the show. You can't do this for me. And that's why I got upset.
And then we got you in eventually.
Yeah, Ryan came through and saved the day. Yeah.
Yeah. We were all stuck outside there for a while.
Yeah.
You know that kid that I met
at.
you know the kid that we helped get into the show? Kellen?
Oh yeah, Omar. I feel like now's a good time to explain because we've never really talked about this child that you've adopted and fostered.
Yeah, I adopted it. Yeah, like I'm kind of sad that we didn't get any footage of him for the vlog because he was a really nice dude, and like it was like his 21st birthday, and he was like so pumped about Bring Me the Horizon. Like that's like my favorite band. So I was like, dude, like he was up in the rafters. And I'm like, no, you got to come down to the pit. Like that's not acceptable. Like this is your first Bring Me the Horizon show. You're having your first drink. Like we took like a shot with him or whatever. And so we basically used your bracelet, Harv, and then like went to the front like, oh, he lost his bracelet. Like here's the ticket, and then like got him in, essentially. And he was like so grateful and stuff. And like he added me on Instagram. He's like the nicest dude. Like literally the other day,
I still follow him. Yeah.
Well, dude, he like messages me all the time, and he was so like he's just a nice dude, and he like literally like 2 days or like maybe like last week or something, he messaged me and he was like, hey dude, like what's your address? Like I want to send you like some Bring Me the Horizon stuff that I got. I'm like, that's so kind of you, because he knows like Bring Me the Horizon is my favorite band, like his favorite band.
I like how he's like looking for your address and he's like, oh dude, by the way, your hair smelled so nice at the show. Like not so nice, but like so nice that if I don't have it, I'm gonna go on a murderous rampage. What's your address, by the way?
Yeah, for sure.
But
He's so like he's like yeah, whenever you're in like Sacramento, like come, we'll like go to a show together. And I'm like, I like felt that moment of like, oh, like now I'm the old scene kid and I'm teaching the new the ways that, like, you know,
it's happening. Like
I mean, I'm not that much older than him. I'm 28. He's 21. So
well, I mean, we hang out with Ryan and he's like 40 compared to us. It's, you know,
well,
I mean,
true.
Oh my god.
Like a dad energy, for sure.
Yeah, Ryan, that first kid's coming like next week. Don't worry, we know.
But yeah, this kid is so fucking. I don't know. That's like the kind of things that I love about like going to those or any show really, but those type of shows like.
And yeah, dude, that's like the thing I definitely miss about shows, like getting to meet random
camaraderie.
like camaraderie.
Yeah, camaraderie.
Yeah, and like I was, you know, I'm in like this family group chat with all my like, you know, relatives because I don't like really talk to my family that often or see them that often. Everyone's like all over the world. And, you know, they're of the mindset where they're like, you know, a lot of them are either jam band people or old hippies. And it's like, I don't understand screaming and it's aggressive. And I shared a video from the Knot Fest. And I don't know if you guys remember, there was I think like a young man in a wheelchair and he was getting like circle pitted around like towards like the end when Slipknot was playing. I think, Ryan, you were with me. And I shared this with one of my my cousins who like I don't really talk to that much. But as soon as I share that to like break up some of the negativity, the first thing she comments is like, oh man, you never see like these shows only breed violence and being young and stupid. I never see attitudes like this at a Fish or a Dave Matthews concert. And I'm like, bro.
Because nobody listens to Dave Matthews.
One, that's not true. But two, at those shows, half the time it's like drunk frat guys getting into fights. Like, this is like a beautiful thing. And just because it's angry music means nothing. So it's just like...
There's only a few bands where you'll actually find assholes.
No, and like it's
like
really
Mirror, maybe if you went to see a Mirror, then you'd find some assholes.
Yeah, it's like few and far between, but at the same time, it's just kind of crazy how like everybody has this like negative worldview, and you go in and you see like the most loving people or like make friends in like maybe 2 minutes of going in a pit.
Dude, literally everybody we talk to is so friendly to us, or like
we met the guy on the line when we were doing the whiskey, Tiny Tank, Tiny Tank, right, on Instagram, nicest guy, and he's like also.
Fucking funny.
Yeah, he was funny as hell, but he was like there to like kind of like spread it. And he was also like, yeah, I go to these events because I feel like in metal and stuff, a lot of like black culture isn't like represented, and it's, you know, like mostly white people. So when I see other people of culture and like color and stuff, it's great to like get to meet and kind of like raise awareness in the pits. And you have all these people doing like.
Wait, what did he say? He's like, yeah, since I'm like the only like one of the few black people at a show, like it's like the Spider-Man meme when you see another.
Oh yeah, like, yeah. And that's the coolest thing. Like, that's why I miss shows like the most, even like despite the COVID thing. It's just like you meet like the nicest people, especially at like these harder shows. It's just cool.
For sure.
But you know what they got a ton of at those concerts? Merch. And that's what we got here at Kickin' Teeth if this fucking thing would work. Sorry, the stream deck's... Uh-oh. Guys, I lost the session.
Whole thing.
How much?
The whole thing.
No, you're fucking with us.
No, this isn't... Hang on. I'm smiling because I'm at this week.
You
No.
have a habitual nature with losing large sessions.
Wait, how much of that was gone? Go check the folder.
Wait, but Omar, if I check the folder, the only thing I'm gonna find is our brand new merch here at Kickin' Teeth because Omar has.
Fucker.
Oh, the worry! Look at your faces. Y'all were
God
so
damn it.
worried.
I was like, no, that was so much, so much
But
to be talking about.
but what we should be talking about right now.
So
If
much.
if y'all
So
see,
much.
are we done? You interrupting little fuckers.
I'm gonna cross my leg like a real Gucci.
Like a real Gucci man. Okay.
Real Gucci.
Well, anyway.
Like, you're gonna give us a fucking TED Talk presentation about fucking the difference between eels and monkeys.
I love this shitty little attitude where it's like, actually, if you guys didn't know, it's such like Big Bang Theory energy. Like, if you didn't,
realize.
yeah, you might not know, but eels and monkeys, they're much
quite
different.
different.
Yeah. They have a lot of things that make them kooky in their own ways.
They may both eat bananas, but
But speaking of things that are, are similar between monkeys and eels, they can both wear t-shirts. And what we have right here on screen right now is a bunch of beautiful merch designs that Omar Fieldraman, our boy himself, has drawn up, and they're each numbered. As you can see, there's a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. And right now, what we're doing...
Right, calm down, Count Chocula.
Listen.
1, 2, the count.
1.
The count died.
Not Count Chocula, the count.
Yeah, I was gonna say Count Chocolate didn't do the counting. He was just a cereal man.
Now, can we segue the dang merch? Because I can't bring up
Okay, the merch. I made the merch. We got 1 through 6. Everybody take a vote. We want a white shirt and a black shirt because some people like the light color, some people like the black color. Go and vote for your shirts.
Yes, please. And this is how the voting is going to work. We're going to go across all of our social media platforms. So like you can comment on the Instagram, you can comment on the YouTube videos, and you should be commenting on the YouTube videos like in general because it makes us feel good and like there's a point of going on in life.
So far, only Franny has commented on our video. And I love Franny, but
we're also sending out mail-in ballots for t-shirt design voting. So make sure
and this is why we let Ryan write the music and we don't say anything else. So go ahead, everybody, if you can vote. We have a bunch of people that have won past contests, things like that. The shirts are coming soon. But yeah, let us know your favorite number. We're gonna do 2 options, black and white. And yeah, we'll let you guys know soon. But along with new merch, we also got some new platforms that we're on, including Apple Podcasts, where you can check us out, give us a follow, give us a comment or review. 5 stars only, just like our FaceTime calls every time, because you can't have a FaceTime call without your friends without rating it 5 stars. Am I right, boys?
whenever I'm at a Google Meet at work and it asks me what I should give it a star, I always give it a 4. Because the stream quality is great, but I don't want to be giving him a 5 because it's work. You know?
So don't do what Omar is doing at work. Go higher above, go above and beyond for us, please, if you will. But yeah, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, so go give it a check out, review it. But before we go, it's the new year, and I guess we should really just kind of go over, we went over the holidays, how our New Year's were. So Omar, would you like to kick that off?
New Year's. So last time we talked about shitty New Year's or bad stories of New Year's. This New Year's was actually very chill. We just fucking drank with the family. We made some fucking nice ass drinks. I will say that.
What'd you make?
It was actually pretty. We just had like a ton of like interesting like I made like a tequila. For some reason, I'm on this hibiscus grind. Anyways, it was like some crazy tequila hibiscus with like some orange citrus shit. It was fucking delicious. Had good food, and then we like played charades and shit with my grandpa, who was so fucking funny, because we were like, okay, everybody write down like character names or like people, like famous people. And my grandpa writes like pinball, like the game pinball, and like banana is one, and we were like, I don't know if he quite got it, but it was so fucking funny that we just let him act out a banana.
Oh, just like immediate, like.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, and then we watched the fucking Miley Cyrus Pete Davidson thing, and that was terrible.
So did I, but
Yeah.
I mean,
The
like
performances were good. Like Miley Cyrus, fucking great performer.
Killed it, yeah.
Miley Cyrus is not given enough credit. Everyone like just thinks about like
Yeah.
kind of like the We Can't Stop. First of all, Bangers was
I mean,
a
I
lot
love
of fun.
that song too.
Yeah, that was fun, but like she also has like this like Dolly aspect that she's going after too. It's like Thalia.
Well,
Yeah?
dude, her last album is dope as fuck. Plastic Hearts, yeah.
Plastic Hearts, yeah.
Like fucking Prisoner with Dua Lipa is great. Night Crawling's great.
Prisoner,
Midnight Sky, High,
Prisoner,
Hate Me.
we
There's
are
so
gonna
many
get-
fucking good songs on that album.
We just get DMCA'd, imagine.
And she
Like,
killed it live. Also, I didn't know she had a sister.
yeah,
Did
Yeah,
a performance with her. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Miley's been through like.
But there's
Come out
skits in
on top.
between. Terrible. Terrible.
Well, you know, like you
So
gotta
cheesy.
assume you have to assume half of them were written by like SNL and new SNL.
That's
Was not.
literally what I was thinking. It felt so SNL. Like it was so bad.
I mean, new SNL was like the most like people would be like, this is the
Corny.
most top tier form of comedy, and it's like you've been doing the same thing for 40 years, except it's less funny every time.
Honestly,
Everybody's funnier after SNL. Like
yeah. When they leave and do their own thing.
It's like
Dude,
the
I mean,
yeah.
most people are better outside of it for sure.
Ryan, how was your New Year's? How did you spend it? Not with COVID, probably just fine. You probably had a great time. You probably got a bonus that day, tax return early, more muscles.
No, I mean, I did have to work that day because of that sales life. You're working up until midnight of New Year's, but no, I wasn't working till midnight. But yeah, it was pretty chill. You know, just a small group of friends. We put together some charcuterie, hopped on the charcuterie train. All the assorted
Sorry, hold on one
cheeses.
second. Say that again. My fucking iPod just started playing that fucking Miley album.
Yeah, we put together a charcuterie tray to hop on that train with all the assorted cheeses, the cheddar and the brie and the stinky cheese, and
Love it.
yeah, it was good. And then I made some buffalo chicken dip that was
Ooh.
pretty hot. There was a cream cheese shortage, so I couldn't find cream cheese anywhere. So I had to use.
Oh no, not a cream cheese shortage.
It was. I went to like 4 stores and it was empty. I could only find no non-fat cream cheese, so I used it and nobody noticed.
Ooh. I'm literally picturing Ryan's like, yeah, I like spent like a whole day like really making this elegant charcuterie, and it's literally just different types of like pasta and noodles, but it's uncooked. So it's like literally just shells, and then Ryan threw like tomato paste at it, and he's like, guys, look what I made.
You ever had raw pasta?
I have had raw pasta a lot, and my teeth, my enamel
I
really
used to
are.
like eating like spaghetti strands while I'd be cooking them. I'd have a couple. I like pretend it was like one of those like wheat strings that like Huckleberry Finn would have kind of thing.
You're like, your mom was like, Omar, you shouldn't bite those. You're gonna kill your enamel in your teeth, Mom.
Yeah.
It's more sophisticated when it's in the raw, unprocessed form.
This is how our ancestors would have eaten it.
Just like fucking shattered
I'm
teeth.
paleo, Mom.
Just eating rocks.
Fucking shoving like a fucking like you go to the beach, gather fucking stones and just. This is how caveman would have done it.
Oh my god! And
I live that paleo life.
speaking of what is essentially the equivalent of eating stones, I just want to say thank you to everybody.
How was your New Year's?
Oh shit! You're right. All right, talk about me. My New Year's was essentially the same as last New Year's, where me and my wife sat inside, we ate pizza,
Gave each other hand jobs.
and gave each other lamb jobs, where we just hung out and stroked sentient lambs and hung out, and there was nothing else involved. No, we sat there, watched TV, and watched a lot of people poop themselves in the Times Square Plaza, but nothing really was like that significant. And Omar and I have a history of pretty crazy New Year's. Almost every single year is just insanity. So, I'm definitely missing being able to hang out with friends and doing all that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So quick. When you go down to Times Square for New Year's, you have to get there like 12 hours ahead of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that,
Get
yeah.
in Times Square. Where do you go to the bathroom?
I'm this is actually true.
Yeah.
My parents have like Korean students or like international students stay at their house because we have like right by us. And so they're always like hosting like tons of international kids who always want to go to New Year's in New York.
Yeah.
And
Don't
so
do it.
one time it was like three girls who lived there at one point, and they straight up were all just wearing diapers and went at like 4 a.m. to get in at 6 and stayed the whole day and literally pissed themselves all day.
Dude. Yeah, grown adults just like literally everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's the most romantic New York City moment, but really just like people are just fucking ripping.
Yeah, there's like no, I think there's like maybe one porta potty or something. Like that's it.
Yeah, don't go. Like you can like
But if you go to the porta potty, you lose your spot at the front, so you pretty much
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you can get the same view. You go down the street, if you actually, like, know New York and you, like, kind of know, and I'm not like, being like, I'm a freaking New Yorker, but, like, there's so many, like, little bars around the area that you can, like, walk down the corner. You don't need to do that. Don't spend the money.
It's not that interesting. It really isn't.
Yeah. If you're gonna, I'm like, we've done plenty of, like, New Year's in New York things.
There's so many things to do. Why go to that?
Stay away from Times Square. Just avoid the crowds. There's like literally probably a few blocks over. There's like even like a like kind of like chain like those chain Irish bars that are all the same 3 floors. You know what I'm talking about? It's like there's 4 of them. You can go to that and it's the same thing. Just save yourself the fucking depends.
Just don't go to the ball drop. Watch it on TV.
Yeah.
So like even though it's pretty bad on TV, it's always pretty fun. Like this year,
for sure.
This year, Don Lemon and Andy Cohen both were trashed.
I saw
Dude, I know. But Don Lemon was in New Orleans.
Oh, was he? Yeah, he was just going off on
doing
haters.
that fucking dance, like trash at him. Dude, it was so fucking funny.
Hey.
Yeah, that was very
me and my family were just like, what the fuck is even going on? Like, the only good one, honestly, was the Miley Cyrus one, because all the other channels were like, you're like, this feels just like weird. And like,
yeah, just like fun, kind of like just.
Like, I'm just watching Don Lemon fucking twerk in fucking New Orleans right now.
Speaking of twerking in New Orleans, well, actually, we're not going to speak about that right now. We're going to speak about it in the next episode. But for now, we want to thank you all for joining another episode of the Slappy Hour podcast. And before I leave, shout out our Patreon subscribers for the month. And guess what? Woo! We only have one. But he's our very.
Love him.
But we love him. He's our very special friend, and also it's his birthday today. Everybody, please give it up for Shane Unwin, our only Patreon subscriber. We love him, Shane. Happy birthday!
Shout out to Shane. Don't know you, but I love you.
Omar,
showing our hand right now. You're showing our hand.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes you gotta show your strong hand. But anyway, yeah. Shane, thank you so much for being our only Patreon subscriber.
Thank you,
it's
Shane.
almost as if more people should subscribe so we don't go hungry and I can just.
It's kind of like Shane is morally a superior human than everybody else who subscribed to this channel.
And he has like probably 10 times more muscles and like. He never forgets gum. I'm pretty sure he always has a gift card on hand.
He always smells nice.
He actually does smell nice. But yeah, Shane, happy birthday. We love you very much, man. And thank you for being part of our Patreon because you're the only patron. Again.
I heard he was building schools for kids in Africa. Like he just.
I heard that too. Yeah. The rumor mill has been going about that.
And just like 10 out of 10, like hottie with a body like Timothy Chalamet doesn't even hold a candle. And I know Omar's gonna get mad about that, but not even pretty close.
MEC is a little piece.
Oh, and on that, speaking of little pieces, let's leave our own little pieces right now. Everybody, my friends, we're about to head out of here, but before we go, Omi, Rye-Dawg, where can people follow you and see what you guys are up to?
So you can follow me at Ramen Doodles Art on Instagram.
And what you got going on? What's the newest thing going on for you, Omar?
Well, I'm going to talk about some more later, but you know, I'm just doing art, a lot of just personal pictures. Like my Instagram's partly personal, partly I post my art shit. So if you want to follow that, eventually I'm going to start doing some art stuff on this channel. So that's going to be good.
Yeah, get ready. Y'all think y'all looking at like the baby pictures and the merch, like, oh, yo, I would pay that, man. Just wait. You're going to want to pay him even more.
Yeah. Find me on Instagram at Ryan Greg Photography. I'm working on making a website. It'll be up soon, but
yes, same. I have a website, but under construction.
yeah, right. 404 error found. But yeah, I'm just working on a lot of personal projects, trying to own the craft and
And your
started.
photography is looking sick.
Yeah, oh my gosh, dude. If anybody hasn't checked, and this isn't like me being biased, because I don't really think highly of how I look at all, but we were out in the desert. Man, the photos that Ryan took from that set specifically are like National Geographic, like GQ, like the first time I've ever felt beautiful.
There's like one where like Harv is like this like it's like he's like covered in like the cholos around him from the cholo garden or whatever. And it's just like one of those National Geographic, like we found him in the woods and like we're taking a picture to like
Been there for months.
document. Yeah.
And that's where they found me, and they haven't let me go since. And now they just make me a host of a podcast, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But
You couldn't even speak English before. You were making rattlesnake noises.
I'm also starting to do some client work too. So headshots, product, anything you need.
yeah, legitimately.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, hey, before, we're still talking about, like, we're just kind of plugging and doing all our plugs right now. We're about to head out. But Ryan, before we go, actually just had his first paid job. Was it an engagement shoot?
It was like family portraits for like Christmas, and then
Nice.
some newborn photos.
Nice.
Oh my God, you
Whittle baby.
Like coming out of the vagina, newborn, or
It was happening. It was action.
it was an action shot. Like they were like it was flying out.
I'm picturing.
Yeah, he went all the way across the room, hit the wall.
I'm picturing you just like screaming at this child, just like fucking going in. Oh my God, just like what?
Push it back.
Fucking that little John song, to the window, to the wall, and you see the baby fucking flying.
Oh, where's the sweat go?
You know where the sweat goes.
And on that note, we all know where the sweat goes. It's out of here. Thank you. This has been the Slappy Hour podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Everybody, have a good night, y'all.
Bye. All right, sweet.
And then I'm gonna stop.
I got pissed. So I had to pee for